transparent conversations, elevated exchanges. It's Friday night, so it must be Friday Night Live on YouTube.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my podcast, Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. I am CPJR. No, I'm Calvin. I'm Calvin, or CPJR if you know me, and CPJR 300 if you feel me. It's Friday, so it's Friday Night Live on YouTube. This is episode 7.43. That's episode 7, 43 days. If you know, you know, and if you want to know, just ask me. So we're on Elevate tonight again. That'll be on day 90. So let's get to it. Of course, this was a hard one for me to get to tonight because I've just this has been a rough day as far as the president. This has been a hard day as far as what's going on with the government and ICE. ICE is really just acting up out there. It's really I never thought I would see this in our country that our government would actually really be against us and talking about dismissing or whatever they do, suspending habeas corpus. They just want to have martial law and just lock up everybody. Um, this is a despicable time. It's a really despicable time, and I think the this is for me. This is all because of racism, and racism is expensive. People can't think straight. They should. This is about class warfare. You know what I'm saying? It's not really about. It's about them, but they keep tricking. They keep tricking the whites. They keep tricking the whites on they want to be on the side of the oligarchs, and they just get used to keep us divided and keep us down here fighting for scraps while they take all the money. Anyway, so this show as all the previous shows, this show is going to be dedicated to all the people that are being disappeared without due process, and the people that are currently sitting in detention centers. We haven't forgotten about you. We're either going to be a country of laws or not, a nation of laws or not. I think it's important. It's important. Why do we have to follow laws? They don't. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we have to get up every day and follow law and make sure that all our laws have to line up with the Constitution? But they are at the point that they're questioning the Constitution. They don't know. The president say he doesn't even know if he have to follow the Constitution, giving people due process before they're deported. It's just it's an untenable situation. I don't understand how we got here, or I don't understand the game plan, because I don't think this is a country that was founded on revolution, right? The revolution was against taxes. So the tariffs, their taxes were tariffs, and he doesn't want to. For some reason, most people don't understand that we're going to be paying the tariffs. Like if I was to import a car, let's say I want to import a car directly from a BYD car, right? I'm rich. I can call BYD and say I want to buy one of your cars, right? But I want to import it, right? The government going to throw the tax on that. China, sorry, China or the exporter is not going to pay the tax. I'm going to pay the tax to the government, right? So we're being taxed. So every time he says like I don't want to do politics. I'm sorry. So every time I'm gonna do this one thing because this is killing me though, because people seem to believe that some of the MAGA people online seem to believe that that doesn't they seem to believe that we aren't paying the tax. We aren't being taxed. Tariffs is a tax on us, right? It's to drive us to buy more local products, manufactured in the country. So they make the price. So they make those products outside the country that we have to import more expensive. It's to teach behavior. I'm sorry, to guide behavior or control behavior. But if you tax everything, if you put a tariff on everything, especially like 145%, you're buying nothing. And then whatever they think is gonna come in, the tariffs, we pay the tariffs. I don't. So like if let's say Walmart, they pay a tariff on their stuff. Walmart got to jack the price up so they could cover the tariff. If the tariff's 145%, so if something costs $100, it's now 200 and something dollars. Um, and I don't think Walmart, they probably eat some of it, but they're not going to eat it. They're going to pass it on because they have to make their profit. That's what they care about. They're in business to make profit. So it's a rough time. We're dealing with people that just don't understand or don't watch the news or um, just don't want to, just don't care. It's a scary time. It's a scary time. I don't like every day. Like my situation right now. Um, I have an offer from a government contractor, but it's taking like a long time for me to go through the whole security clearance process. And I'm sure I'm straight. I think they're just probably backed up. They're probably just backed up, and so I have to sit and wait on. I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait one more week. I'm sorry. I'm still go and give me another job. But I want to get this clearance though. So, but I don't know if the government gonna be here though. I don't know what's going on. They check social media feeds. I'm definitely an enemy of the state or the enemy of that state of the government because I'm not on any of the. No, I'm on none of their time. I didn't vote for. I'm a registered independent, but um, I can't tell you the last time I voted for a Republican. Actually, I'm gonna tell you what. When I was a Christian, long time ago, I actually did vote Republican on the abortion issue. Believe it or not. Um, Also, I guess for taxes too. But that was a short-lived time after I just got myself together and left that behind. So yeah, so that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like I'm really concerned, agitated, um, concerned and agitated, and kind of just worried about what they will do, not what we'll do. I mean, it's an easy slam dunk thing if Congress gets their stuff together. He's definitely violating. He's definitely impeachable. I'm sure there are grounds to impeach him. He breaks the law constantly, grifting constantly, um, and making money. He's making more money than the whole country is. While we spending money on his dumb stuff, he's making money hand over fist, and Congress will do nothing because the Republicans are all scared of him. Anyway, so let me be quiet because I do need that job in the government. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be in limbo one more week and that's gonna be it. I think unless they really tell me what's going on. I don't. Yeah, it's a process. So yeah. So guess what? I passed the test yesterday. And you think what kind of test? I passed the test basically. I'm in here working. I'm doing this podcast. I work a lot. Edit videos. Write my copy. Um, and prepare for the next show. And I get a little on my window. Somebody was knocking on the window. It was like, "Hey, what's up? You want to try something?" I'm like, "What?" And before I even knew what to say, I just said, "No, I don't. No, I'm good." You know what I'm saying? And I did. I meant what I said. Because I'm not. I'm like, why is this even happening to me right now? And I'm just thankful that I'm doing the work. Now, had I not been doing this, and I've been dealing with a little bout of depression. Not depression, just feeling down. Because I want to be, I have plans. I'm going to get the plans on the road. But luckily, I've been, doing this podcast, doing the work. I say this podcast is part of my spiritual practice, and that helped me be able to just say, no, I'm good, no, no, and yeah, I think that was a good deal. That was a big deal for me because I could just imagine if I had said yes, I might not have been here. I might not have been prepared. I might, who knows? But I do know that doing what I did yesterday, do the same thing today, then I'll be able to do the same thing tomorrow. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful, I guess, just for doing the work and just having the opportunity to do this and just keep myself focused on my future. And just being able to see the truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth. Like, that's not a life I want to live anymore. Because I'm talking about this stuff now. So I think that's it for the check-in. I think we're good there. So let's go ahead and get to the show. We'll get to the meat of this podcast tonight. We started out talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do a new section. I make mistakes. I'm gonna do a new section. I'm gonna do food for thought. Right. So I'm gonna bring in some of my spirituality into my podcast and just let you know. I played like one video last week. It was I think it was a Buddhist. Yeah, it's a Buddhist monk. And I have another one from him today. And I've told you that's the religion that really, I guess the religion or philosophy, however you want to call it, that speaks to me the most. Because it's about looking at yourself, right? Like, I think the biggest problem we have, or the biggest problem I have about religion, is the rules. I don't think rules do anything for anyone. I think it's about boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, if you need to fix something in your life, like something needs to, if something's not sitting right in your life, um, you need to change it, right? But I don't think a rule is going to change it for you. You know what I mean? Like I've never. I'm trying to think of like let's say like, I'm premarital sex, right? Or fornication, as they say. I never felt that it was wrong, right? But they tell you it's wrong. I don't know why it's wrong. I don't know why it's in the book like that. I'm sure it's not in the book like that. I'm sure it's written another way. But I don't know any reason other than you want to control. If you want to control it and then make people have hangups, and then we know if you read a book called Sex at Dawn, you'll understand why. Um, because it's a way to keep. It's a way for the man to know who his offspring are, right? Because that way, if your wife she's always locked down, your kids are gonna be your kids. So when you pass your land down, you know for sure that your kids are yours, not someone else's. That's basically what it is. Um, but I never felt that it was wrong, but so I had to lie. I was gonna say that's what I say about the whole thing. Rules don't work because I will break a rule. Everybody breaks rules every day, and then that forces you to lie. So when I just work on yourself, look inward to yourself, because what I'm seeing right now on the outside, what I'm seeing right now that's happening in this country, it's not about people. Um, it's not about people. It's not about people. Don't seem to have a problem with themselves. They have a problem with someone else because they're not looking at themselves, right? And I don't know how that could be taught, or how that could be taught, or how that could be presented to other people to understand that fix yourself. Just look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself peaceful. Be like last week. Have a pleasant life, and then be able to support other people to have a pleasant life. Make that your journey. Um, because hate doesn't do anything. This is why we're in this situation that we're in now because of hate. And what's on every corner? A church. But I'm not speaking against anybody's religion. I'm just saying though, I want to see the proof. That's why I believe in the proof, right? I'm in IT. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna do something. I'm not gonna do something every day the same way if it's not working. A lot of times we have problems in IT. We got to troubleshoot. Uh, we have to recreate the problem. Once we recreate the problem, and we know the root cause, then we know how to fix it, right, or prevent it from happening again. So I'm all about finding the root cause. What's the root cause? What's the root cause analysis, right? So I think that for me, if I see something, if I'm doing something over and over again, it's not working, except for that one thing. If I do something, if I do something over and over again, it's not working. I'm definitely gonna try to do something else, do the correct way. So that's why I think that's why I really like when I hear the teachings from anyone teaching mindfulness. I want to say Buddhism, but it's not really Buddhism. It's just mindfulness, right? Just relaxing, quieting your mind down enough that you actually can see what's really going on. And most of the time, it's just due to you wanting something else. So I'm gonna play this. This is gonna be my food for thought. This is gonna be every week because I know what I'm gonna talk about after I finish talking about this ethical non-monogamy. But I'm gonna save it. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be cool. That might change. All depends. But I think I have an idea. So let me find it. Hold tight 1 second. Oh, I need an engineer or a producer. Let me know. Yeah, here we go.
Discipline your thoughts. Stop thinking too much. Don't go into the past. Don't go into the future. Be in the present. Why? Because only then it's possible that the mind is free, the capacity is free, and now you can completely immerse into whatever you are doing. And this means you have arrived.
I hope you understood that. Just basically, that's just living, being in the moment, quieting your mind down. And that works for me a lot. Just like I was saying yesterday, if I hadn't been doing the work on myself, I probably would have made the wrong decision. But because I'm focused and I'm looking what I really want to do, and I'm like, why would I do that? That's not gonna help me. You know what I mean? It's not gonna help me. It's gonna throw me off. I'm gonna feel different. I'm gonna be in a different space. I'm gonna be in a different place. I'm gonna have a different outlook. Um, and it's not gonna work for me. So it was like easy to just say, nah, I'm good. So that's that. We're gonna be doing that every week and talking a little bit more about that. But right now we're gonna go into tonight's conversation. Tonight's conversation is gonna be I forget what it's called. What's tonight's conversation? Swinging is swinging. We're gonna talk about swinging. Swinging is a vibe. If that's your jam. So I already said that. I've talked about how, um, I opened up my marriage. We opened up our marriage and went into the ethical non-monogamy. And the first thing we went into that is we went into swinging. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show this diagram one more time. So we says ethical when someone says they're ethically non-monogamous. That's what does it mean? And I want to change this. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking that should be an umbrella over this. Like there should be a relationship umbrella. Like, and then you have the choice to go from either monogamy or non-monogamy. I think that's where we are now. I think more people are choosing choosing to go into what they really want because they're seeing more people live this way, and it's a little bit more fulfilling for people to do this. So I think that if you choose monogamy, that's fine. Go into that consciously and really talk about how you want to live monogamously. How do you want your relationship to look? Does it have to be really strict? You have a problem with jealousy. So yeah, if you see somebody with jealousy, run. I don't like jealousy. I would say the same thing. So if you see somebody with how you gonna live? Can you have male friends or female friends or same sex friends, or can you have opposite sex friends? All that kind of stuff. So you have to talk about that. You should be talking about that even in monogamy, in a monogamous relationship, just so you guys will be on the same page. A lot of stuff that for my first real monogamous relationship, it was my first marriage. I was surprised. I was surprised left and right because we were just different. We weren't compatible. But we thugged it out. We basically just thugged it out. So what I'm gonna do is before we do anything, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put this thing because I'm gonna make a disclaimer right now. So basically, this is how I live, right? Know your truth, walk in your truth, and know when something is pulling you from your truth. So this is how I live, right? This is how I'm moving in the world now. So just put a disclaimer out there. We're talking about swinging, right? Swinging is about it's mostly about sex, right? So I'm gonna talk about sex, not in a way to glorify it or just try to shock people, and I'm not trying to persuade anyone to get into the lifestyle. I'm just stating what it was and how it played out in my life. Would I recommend swinging for anyone? Yes, I would. Okay, so there's what's called, there's the swinging that's called a lifestyle. I'll play a video in a second. There's the lifestyle of swinging, and then there's just swingers, right? Like there's a swingers club. Let's say there's a swingers club. You can just go to a swingers club. If you go to a swingers club, you don't have to swing, right? It's just a sexy environment. You could just stay. We went to one in we did a lot of parties too, but we went to one up in Baltimore, Taboo. Enjoying that one. So if you go there, you're not gonna see any. It's a members only club, right? So you have to bring your own liquor, all that kind of stuff. So when you go there, there's only gonna be members there, right? Couples. There's gonna be groups that show. It's gonna be groups that they buy a section. So usually when you're going there, you're probably going there to meet your group of people, or maybe meet new people. And if you stay upstairs, it's gonna look just like a regular club, right? But if you go downstairs, that's where the action is gonna be at. So, but you don't have to go down there though. The first time we went to the swingers club, we didn't go down. We didn't do anything. We just chilled. We went there to meet. There was a particular group that we wanted to hook up with, meet, and they were outside of Baltimore. Went to Baltimore a few times, and Baltimore is a swinging city. I mean, this whole area, DMV is a big swinger city. So basically, so we went there and we just partied, just danced and met people and talked and ate. They bought food. I mean, everything. So we just enjoyed. We just meeting people. So we spent the whole weekend just meeting people. Nothing. We didn't do anything. And we took the tour. We got a tour of the place. I think I spoke about this already. They got the different rooms, BDSM room, different rooms. Then they got the big room, the big room. And I'm like. And the lights are on. I'm like, this doesn't seem sexy at all. Just people doing all kind of stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not our vibe though. But I'm gonna talk about that more. So let me just say, like, okay, so let's go through the whole thing. So basically, we know that when I got married, when I told you about this before, if you've been here, when I got married, we were monogamous. We were monogamish, right? Because we had already started talking about this thing, and we had already tried to hook up a little threesome before the marriage. That blew up. I didn't even get a chance to do it because I think she got kind of. I'll talk about that more, but I think this is before we had agreements and we hadn't really done any research. I think before then, I'm not gonna say her name, but my partner was living in New York, so she was already living in New York still. She hadn't came down here yet. We weren't married, um, and we were talking to someone online, young lady, and I think one night I had just saw her online, and was chatting with her online, and then she contacted Heidi and said, and she thought that I was trying to just talk to her, right? So she thought there was some shenanigans going on. I'm like, we talk about everything. I just let it go, because that's just like we were just getting into it, brand new. That's probably a red flag for us. It was a red flag for her. If I probably violated something, I was brand new. I didn't know that I shouldn't reach out, to talk to her at that time. So that's a newbie mistake. Yeah. But as we got, once we actually did get married, we kind of ventured out in that world again, and we met another young lady, but still something didn't happen. It happened right. It just didn't happen. Why didn't it happen? I think that I was having some issues, I think, and so that just pushed it down. We just kicked it down the road. We went to tighten up our marriage, which we did, tighten it up. And so then after a while, of just being together, and I'm noticing my same old little craziness going on. Not my little crazy, but I'm having the same feelings that I always have when I'm in a relationship, a closed relationship. It's like this is closed. I don't, it's closed. It's claustrophobic. And it's like it's not about, like I said, it's not about sex with me, right? It's just claustrophobic. It's like I have to watch what I say, watch what I do. And I talked about last week about the eyes thing, and we had that discussion in the club, and that was done. But I just was like not feeling it. I'm like, something is wrong, and I just really sat down and thought about it, and I did some research, and I found some things online. And then I don't know if anybody you've ever heard of Juju Mama, Kenya K. Stevens, and Raccoon Sekou or Carl Stevens. That little crew, I think it's called Progressive Love. They tried to, I think it's called Progressive. They had a little academy, and they were doing like a lot of, and actually I found her on an article, because this was the same time Tiger Woods got busted and ran into the tree. And I think in the comments, I go in the comments and come all the time. She had commented on how if they were non-monogamous, this wouldn't have happened. And they probably were non-monogamous. They probably had an understanding, but because it came out that he was, with so many waitresses, he was messing around with waitresses and all that kind of stuff. So that was he probably just didn't do the agreement. He probably broke the agreement they had and got messy. So she was rich. She got off good. So yeah, during that conversation, I saw it there. I think we were chatting, and then went over to on Facebook, and they had like a whole Facebook group. And that's when I just saw this non-monogamous community, and it just like clicked in my head. So when something like that happens to me, I just start reading. I just start buying books. I just start buying books and going on websites and going into little different groups, and I just start reading and learning as much as I can. So there's a lot of podcasts. I'm gonna start recommending some podcasts if you want to look at it. Like I said, I'm not trying to convince anyone that this is for them, but I'm trying to do is that this is a way to live, and it's a valid decision. It's a decision that you can make now. Just know, unless you're a Christian. I'm not trying to come against anything like that though. If you're a Christian, don't go against your belief. There are a lot of Christians that are in ethically non-monogamy though. But don't go against your belief. If you believe that this is a sin or anything like that, don't turn it off now. Turn me off now, because it's gonna get worse. Okay. So anyway, after my reading and just gently talking about the situation, I just came up to the point and said, you know what? This is who I am. This is who I am. I can't do this monogamy thing. But I had a way to say it, because when you look at, there's certain books I'll put a list of books. You might want to, if you want to know some more about books to read, I'll put it in the thing. But if you want to know about books, just contact me. I'll give you a book. So I'm not going to say I'm going to put them on here because there's a lot. I already said the one book I do like is Designer Relationships. There's another book called Opening Up, Ethical Slut. Um, it's a bunch of other ones I would think of. But I read one book on just swinging, right? So when when I broached the subject, and I was just talking about the whole thing. Like I said before, my partner she was open to swinging, right? The whole thing about polyamory was just a little bit too far at that time. A little bit too far because basically, if you go into polyamory is love, right? So if you're in a committed relationship and somebody falls in love with somebody else, how's that gonna look? In the relationship has to grow, right? Relationship has to grow, or you have to divorce one. So, it was so new to me and to us. I didn't even know how that would work, but I sort of knew in my head that swinging wasn't really what I wanted to do or go into, but baby steps, I guess. So the first thing that you got to do, the first thing you should do, or what we did, or what's recommended, is that you come up with an agreement, right? You already have your one agreement. You're married, right? You took your vows. You have a marriage license, and you set up a house, and you're a couple, right? And you're a dyad. You're two people against the world. That's your little unit. Once you open it up, you got to come up with new agreements, right? What are you gonna do? What does this new relationship look like? So one thing they recommended was that you do an agreement. An agreement on non-monogamy or how it's going to look. And lo and behold, this is our agreement. So I'm going to go through it. There's no names on here. I'm going to just go through it real quick, just go through the highlights of it and probably read a little bit of it. So basically the agreement, this like we said, we like in the first paragraph, we agreed that we are a partner non-monogamy couple, meaning that me and you, we're in a relationship, but we're non-monogamous, right? It's the couple, and that says right there, we are and will always be primaries to each other. That's hierarchy. That's meaning that this marriage, us being committed to each other, must come before everything. If we get in a relationship with someone else or something else is coming up, we got to get rid of that something else. That's called veto power. Get you out of the relationship because this relationship is the most important thing to us, right? This was our first agreement. This was our only agreement. I'm gonna tell you about it. So then I go on to define. I guess I wrote this. Yeah, I did. So we're going to define what partner non-monogamy is. I say we're seeking out what? We will seek out relationships that will enhance us as a couple and will also enhance the lives of persons that become part of our lives. We are what? We as a couple are free to seek out sexual and non-sexual relationships with either single men, single women, or couples. However you see it, that's how you see it. So that took care of, like, I definitely had a work wife. Heidi knew her, Heidi better. I definitely had two. I had two. I actually I had a work wife one time. I broke up with her at work, and I had a new work wife, who got into an argument with the woman I was with while I was moving. After the marriage broke up, so it was like a mess. So anyway, yeah, I can't do. You know what? Everybody's not built for non-monogamy because it wasn't. I don't think it was me. It was like them. I don't know. Anyway, so we could have different relationships, right? So everybody could be cool. We were cool. We were open. We were, except for the hierarchy. That meaning that our relationship must come before any other relationships. This was pretty straightforward. What else I said? The relationship formed will be mainly with us as a primary couple. That's another hierarchical statement, another statement of hierarchy. That meaning that this relationship is more important than any other relationship. So if there's a problem, the new relationship has to go because we want to maintain our relationship. A lot of people don't like that, and I will no longer do that. I will do egalitarian, meaning that our relationships are the same. but there's always a natural hierarchy, right? There's priorities. So as priorities shift, that little thing shifts, or it should shift. Um, Although relationships may be weighted one way or another, one way or another toward one of the primaries, name or name. So basically, that was saying that we could have relationships outside of us or with us both, or outside of us both. But even if it's with us both, it's okay if the person wants to spend more time with her or him or whoever, right? That's fine. So this is a pretty loose agreement. Um, and then let me go down. I think we go down to the guidelines. Go down to the actual some of the rules. Safer sex practices, of course. Yes, always use barriers, except for oral. It's optional, right? So you don't practice safe sex. Here's the thing about this too. A lot of people say when a lot of people look at swinging and they say sex clubs, anything like that, right? Like an open lifestyle with multiple partners, they think that that's a higher chance of getting STIs, but actually that's not true. More STIs are more statistically. I don't know how they did this, so look it up if you want to. But I believe it's true. But statistically, people that are outside of the lifestyle transmit more STIs because it's not about like when you go into a swing environment. There's rules. There's rules, and one of the rules is always use barriers and condoms. Always, because basically, if you get known as a person who passed that around, you'll be out the community. You'll be shunned, right? Plus, you don't want to give anything to your partner. So, and it's okay. A lot of times, if you're having an affair or something like that, you get all up in the heathen things. You may not have time to go get a condom. You just like, we got this 5 minutes. You might just go ahead and do it because you want to get it off because it's all about lust and all this kind of stuff. This is not about lust. This is actually like, this is like going to a bowling match. You know what I mean? It's like going to a dinner with friends, right? So it's all planned out. Everything's laid out. There's always bowls and bowls of condoms everywhere. Condoms, lube, everything. It's right there. So chances are, I definitely know that people do use a lot of, practice a lot of safer sex practices. You get tested more because people want to see your test results. Make sure that you're okay, but there's always a chance that you could be in between the test. But also, a lot of times people will get in like groups and close up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of swinger groups aren't that open. I'm gonna play a video about that. A lot of swinger groups aren't open. They're like I said, when you go to like the club, they have a little section that's like roped off for just their people, meaning that they want to make sure that the people that they're with have always been tested. They always use safer sex barriers, so they might not be open to bringing anyone new in. If they bring you in, they might just make you take the test and then wait 6 months, take tests, then you could be like fluid bonded, meaning that you no longer have to use barriers. But then you still should, as much as possible, use barriers. Okay, so that's a given, right? Always practice safer sex practices. That's something that's preached and talked about a lot. I said, next one said, we must agree on all meetings and communication with new persons when possible. That was crazy. If an initial meeting or communication has been made by one of the primaries, me or her, separately, this must be rectified as soon as possible. I think I wrote some of this some of this was to make her feel more comfortable. I think this was saying that, because I did date more than she did. Yeah, so this is saying basically, if you go out there, you're having a good time, you meet somebody, chill right then and there. You want to like chill it, because you want to let the other partner know what's going on before you do anything, so they can have, I guess, they have veto power. Veto power is basically when the couple has the right to not allow their partner to have a relationship with someone else, meaning that no, you can't see him or no, you can't see her because of blah blah blah. Right? That's crazy. Yeah, we don't do that anymore. That's basically what that's saying, I think. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Also, number 3, while separate play, dates, and communication is possible with partners, meaning that we don't always have to be in the same room. I'll talk about that in 1 second. We don't always have to be together or be around each other. A lot of couples do. A lot of couples have don't want to be out of sight from their partners, or they don't want to go let their partners go out, go out by themselves. We were a little bit more liberal there. Um, yeah, we live on. That says this is not preferred. Established playmate. So we did. Like I said, once we opened up into this lifestyle, we had like people around all the time, and just friends. It was like a constant thing to do. You had to like chill out, like we just gonna do nothing this weekend because it was a lot. It's a lot going on. Everybody want to hang out, and just really like hang out, like just dinner. You know what I mean? Like go to, I think we went to like some kind of what a Buffalo Lodge thing, or what a Buffalo Lodge, what's the Elks? I don't know. Some little thing. One of the guys had like all of us come up to something to support him and his little organization. So you do things like that. So I guess this was about that, but that was a loose one. And then separate dates with new partners. Oh, are not allowed. I don't even remember this one. Number 4, separate dates with new partners are not allowed until everyone has met and a real relationship has been established with all partners. I don't know where that came from. That is crazy. Yeah. So let me tell you about this agreement. So this agreement, we both signed it, and it was away. This is another signed copy. I don't know what the signed copy is. Don't really care. So, but this was the agreement, right? So, and with that, we were off to the races, right? So we looking for a partner. We look for people to hang out with. I'm talking about that in 1 second. But I'm gonna preface. I'm gonna play this video first, and then we'll come back to where we are right here. So just stand by. Actually, let me see. I think I want to do this first. Right. So I want to do this first, right? So I think last week I was saying that it's not about the sex. So this is like a breakdown as to what the relationships are. Like on this side, on the left hand side, nobody. If you're just listening to this on audio, you don't see it. There's a diagram. It's in 4 quadrants. The left hand side is sex focused. Right hand side. I'm sorry. The left hand side is sex focused. The right hand side is what's that? Emotion focused. And then the top is I can't see. I can't see. All right, but anyway, the top says I'm sorry. I really just can't see that. I'm getting old. I'm 59. Eyes are going bad. I could bring this up another way. Let me see. Anyway, so the quadrant is like that, right? So basically, if the left hand side is sex focused, then swinging falls on that side, right? And it's not about relationships. It's about like a loose thing, like something you do. And then you see polyamory is all the way on the right hand side, because it's about relationships, and it's doesn't really focus on sex, and it's an ongoing thing about this whole thing. There's a big thing, because people will come into polyamory groups and they'll really be swingers, and then all they'll be talking about is sex, not relationships. And it's like, wait a minute, you might be a swinger, you might not really be in the polyamory, and that happens a lot. So if you're in this, you have to really learn the terminology, and you really have to do some reading, so you have your discernment, right? Like you don't want to get dragged off into a swinger relationship when you're trying to find a new partner, or a nesting partner, or something more relational or more emotional than swingers do. And swingers, the thing about swingers, there's swingers, right? There's a swinging lifestyle, and then it's just like people who just come every now and then. Real swing, I always call them real swingers. Real swingers are a different breed, because they don't have to have. I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna switch over to a video. They don't have to have feelings at all. It's not about that. It's about NSA sex. It's like a sport, sport fucking, as they say. So I'm gonna play this video, and it's gonna explain it some more. All right.
Why is swinging called the lifestyle?
Hi, I'm Bella.
I'm Jace.
And we make content trying to normalize alternative relationships. As long as we've been in the swinging lifestyle, it's always been called the lifestyle. We think this is because you don't necessarily have to swing to be in the lifestyle. So there's a lot of people who enjoy going to the events or being in the environment, but not necessarily swap. Some couples only swap with specific couples, like specific friends. So it's not like they are always swinging. And so because of that, you don't have to be constantly swinging to be in the lifestyle.
Swinging itself is just an activity, and it's called the lifestyle because it truly is a lifestyle. It's what you do with your partner, the friends you make, the parties you go to, all the connections, all of those things. It truly is encompassing, and so it's a lifestyle.
So yeah, so that's exactly what we're saying. So what I was saying is basically you have people that just will come, like some people just come to a party, or some people just come to the club, or just like to be around it because of the energy, right? It's a sexy environment. It's really good for when people say they're having trouble with blah blah blah, and the was it deadbed or no sex or relationship anymore. I say go to the strip club. Take her to the strip club. Y'all go to the strip club, have fun, or go to a swingers club, or go to a swingers party. But you don't have to do anything. You don't have to watch anything. Just be there. But you have to have an open mind though. Just be there and just enjoy it, right? Enjoy the atmosphere, because it's a sexy atmosphere. Most swingers club have dress codes. You have to be dressed up nice. You can't go in jeans and tennis shoes. It's a club type environment, very like upscale, classy type environment, with sexy people who are very open to having a good time. Like every time I went to a swingers club or a party, I had fun at the parties. And the best party I went to, and I usually don't go out on New Year's Eve, but we went to a party. I think it was 2011. That New Year's Eve, that was the best party I've been to like in my life. It was so much fun, and it wasn't all about it wasn't about the sex. It was just like, it was just it's such a good controlled environment that you could just sit back and just watch everything. You don't have to do anything. Of course, yeah. But so yeah, you can go in there and but if you do partake, it's gonna be fun too. Like if you want to experience everything, you can. Like that agreement. So back to the agreement. So that agreement was how we went out. So the first time, the first time we went out, we went with another couple from Baltimore. I think we met halfway somewhere. We had steak dinner. So yeah, steak dinner. We eat, drinking, everybody having a good time, everybody vibing. The vibe was there. So, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, for some reason, we back going up to Baltimore, following them home. We followed them up to their place in Baltimore. And bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. It was morning, and it was morning, and I guess like every time when we drive home, we usually drive home. I had left my glasses in the so I left my glasses at the restaurant, so I had to come back up. So we drove all the way back down. We went to Baltimore, drove back down where we live at in Montgomery County, Silver Spring, and then found out I didn't have my glasses. I had to drive back up to the restaurant. But the whole thing was, it was such a chilled environment, and we were cool with everything that happened, that we were like, we don't need agreement. That agreement was gone. It was like, we don't need it. And this was both our decisions. So everything on that agreement that you saw there was gone. We just said we didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? We're secure enough in our relationship that we trust each other, which is the way I see it. Like, I'm like, if I can't have that type of vibe with you, where I trust you and that you're my partner, we kind of connect on a certain level. We're both Aries too. We connect on a certain level and have a certain understanding that we don't have to have that type of agreement. We had a understanding. We knew that we would always take care of us, and which wasn't true, though. It didn't always work out like that. But we always would take care of us. We knew that coming through this on that side, and we did not get divorced because of this. It was because of me, not this. So it was but this was like, it was like we understood it and we had a good time, and we didn't have any problems. The problems that we had was, that video I just showed you about the lifestyle. You have what we call real swingers, right? The real swingers like to swing, right? They don't have to have the attachments, the emotions. They don't have to have anything other than a naked body, right? So so those people and they have sometimes they do still have rules. Real swingers do have rules, and one of them big rules is no attachments, no emotions. Um, if it and that's when they have problems. Most of the time when they have problems, they disappear for a while, and then they'll come back to the scene because we were on the scene for a while. We saw people at different parties, different clubs all the time. So yeah, so most of the time when couples had to dip out for a while, they would have problems. They would have problems in a relationship because one of them broke a rule, right? We never had that problem with rules, but when somebody broke a rule, and that happened to us with another couple. I'm gonna talk about pros and cons of swinging on Wednesday. On doing a recap on Wednesday, but I'm gonna just stick to what swinging is right now. But yeah, so and I'm gonna talk about more about that situation, what happened, and then why they disappeared on us. All right, so let me go ahead and talk about what swinging is. Swinging is a practice where couples or individuals engage in sexual activity with partners other than their primary partners, right? The couple with the agreement. Often for recreational or exploratory purposes. It's a form of non-monogamy where couples maintain their primary relationship while exploring sexual intimacy of others, right? So let me break it down a little bit more. Swingers often seek to add variety, excitement, or explore their sexuality outside their primary relationship. Some may also find that swinging can strengthen their primary relationship by providing shared experience or addressing unmet needs. Now it was a shared experience for us. It wasn't unmet needs. It was a shared experience for us. Well, basically, we enjoyed doing it together. I mean, we enjoyed going to the clubs and out different places and meet different people. We just enjoyed it. I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, like one time, the first time we went to the club. We spent the weekend in Baltimore and went to the club Taboo up in Baltimore. We just went there and had a good time. We didn't do anything. I mean, it's like we just went there that whole weekend. We didn't do anything. We had a connection up there already with a young lady, but she was busy that weekend, so it was just us. We were just us two. She would come down to our area and hang out with us. But we didn't hang out with her in this area. Baltimore. She was Baltimore. Baltimore was kind of weird. So real swingers, they have to have a lot of because they can't do attachments. They don't want to do attachments. They have to have a lot of new. They have to go out and meet a lot of new people, right? So with that comes a lot of shady shit. Like they would do, like it'll be some shady stuff, and I'm gonna explain some of that. Like I'm gonna do the pros and cons next week, because there was a lot of shady things that went on, and it was like, and a lot of times we didn't really find out till afterwards, and then, yeah, a lot of times we didn't find out afterwards, and then I think I might talk about this last week. There's sites online. There's swinger sites. There's like Lifestyle Lounge, which is like a big site across the country. That's where the groups are. And I think it's attached to Taboo. Basically, so it's like a Match.com for swingers, right? And then there's also one just for the black people, African Americans. It's called Black Swingers Club, and that's the one that we were a big part of. So people would we had this incident happen to us though. Do some stuff, and then everybody would just jump on it because after you meet somebody, you would go back and endorse them and really say they're nice people or not nice people, and I already talked about it one time. I think I had talked about it. I had an incident. I had a couple incidents because I would get angry, I would get mad at that time, and I was drinking a lot too because they do drink a lot. Swingers, two things about swingers: they drink a lot and they stay up late, so you will be tired. You will be tired. We spend whole nights. We'd be out like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning coming home. And we were already like over 40, and we were tired, just spending the whole night sleep. We were like, nah, we're not doing nothing this weekend, just sleeping. But it was a lot of fun though. But yeah, so real swingers just got this thing. They gotta. So as we went on in the lifestyle, because we stuck in the lifestyle for a while. At first we were like, okay, we're gonna be swingers for a while. but it just that insatiable, and we were in some groups, right? So they said the lifestyle. So yeah, we were in a couple different groups, like really like people that just met up. Like one night, one Sunday, the wives just all went out. Like 4 or 5 wives just went out for lunch and brunch. Then the fellas just hung out, meet up for some bowling, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then sometimes we just meet up, for other things. But that's how it was. That was the lifestyle. But then those weren't real swingers, right? Real swingers have to have new people. They're constantly looking for new people. And then, and sometimes with us, we had the rule of like, if we meet you on the first night, this is just for dinner. We're gonna have dinner, drinks, and just talk, right? And see if there's a vibe. And there's no vibe, then we won't see you again. We'll be friends. Everything's cool because everybody's in the same little community. But then some people would like go on trips. Like they would tell like they coming from, let's say, Philadelphia, and they coming down to this area, so they trying to hook up as many dates as possible, and they already know because we made it known that there will be nothing on the first night. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna get to know each other. We'll see you next week if we vibe. You know what I'm saying? And some people didn't like that. They didn't want to do that, so they would just set up dates, and then if this one fall through, they'll just go to one, and if they hit on that night, they'll just forget about everything else. So yeah, we stood up, and we definitely because everybody's on one site, kind of just like knew and found out what happened, and then it's like terrible. It's like, so that really, like, I think as we went on and we tried to kind of saw that that we aren't real swingers. We aren't real swingers. So so it sort of died out that on us. It's kind of like that excitement for that kind of died out. Plus I already knew based on who I am and how I move that it wasn't something I want to do all the time. Like I will definitely, if like now when I say I'm polyamorous / open, at open parties I'm open to do like different little things, but I'm not. I've never called myself a swinger again. And if I never go to a swinger party or a swingers club again, I'm not gonna be upset with it, But they're fun to party with, definitely. So if you get a chance to go, just go. Just know that you don't have to do anything. Because what happens is, so basically, let's say it's a party, right? Even let's say it's a party, because sometimes you have like little dates, little couple date, a couple's date type thing. But let's say you were at a club or a party. So I'll talk about the party we went to on New Year's Eve. That was so great. So yeah, like it's a big like a house party. Everybody's there, everybody's vibing, talking, drinking, blah blah. So at first, it's just like a regular party, right? Then all of a sudden, time change out, right? Everybody go, changes their stuff, and then the men are brought to one side, the women are brought to the other side because the rules are gonna be laid out, right? There are rules. 100% consent. 100% enthusiastic consent. Do not touch anybody, and there are bouncers around too. Do not touch anybody without consent. Like rules like don't close doors, all that type of stuff, just to keep everybody safe. And then because there was an incident like the first time we went to at this particular party. It was big. It was actually right here in Temple Hills, right around there. So it was actually there's actually an issue. Like some guy, I guess he was with his girl. They were younger, and I guess he wasn't ready, so he just went off. They threw him out. They just went off, right? I'm like, wow, why would you come here if you're not ready for this? Because they get jealous. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe she told him that she wasn't gonna do nothing. She did, and that was the incident. And they quickly just wrapped him up and sent him out. So yeah. So there is control. There's like rules. They will lay down the rules. And you will have to abide by those rules. The rules are because it's 100% consent, right? I've never seen an incident I've just seen a jealous incident, not an incident of someone doing something they weren't supposed to do, because everybody will ask for permission to touch you, and everybody's pretty agreeable, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's there for a sexy time. But like I said, things do happen. But you're in the environment of like there's these rules, and the rules are, and the couples have their own rules, so you're constantly navigating the venue's rules, and then you're constantly navigating your couple's rules, your rules and their rules too. But there's like a lot of other we used to get invited like little quiet gatherings, like at another couple, or maybe somebody would have they would do a mix like every once in a month. There was like there's one guy who's fighting in Fort Washington, not far from here. He would have like a curated event, and just invite people over, and it'd just be like at a football game be on, bar set up, room set up, and you know what I'm saying. You just go ahead and vibe and do what you gotta do what you want to do, and that's how we made a lot of friends. And we tried to steal a lot of women. We would definitely we tried to steal women because for some reason we let the women better than the guys, and we were like, you know what? Can we just invite her? Don't invite him. That's the kind of stuff we were on. But we didn't do that. We just talk about it because you don't want to take one for the team. You ever heard that before? So basically, if you see a couple, right, and this is an attractive lady because Heidi was much more attractive than me, and so you would, well, I guess so. You'll get that little hesitation of making a move because you know somebody's not attracted to the other person, and that happens. So definitely a rule. We had a rule: don't take one. Yeah, that we did have a rule: don't take one for the team. And then we also had a safe word. Like we had because we wanted to leave. If this was a bum date, nothing gonna happen ever, we would just say like Russ. That was we say, what's that, Russ? And Russ was, are you serious? We had to use that a couple times because we would get asked out. So it was a fun environment. It was a fun time. But like I said, it wasn't. There's the real swinger thing, and I mean the real swinger thing. And I want to talk about the couple. It was one incident that was really. It wasn't bad, but it was like we didn't find out till afterwards what was really going on. And there was a lot going on. A lot of time, and there's actually, the first couple we were with, like that was our couple, Lydia and Leo. So that was our first couple, right? When I said that we had the first encounter, and then that was it. There was no more rules. That was the couple. That was our couple. That we hung out with a few times. Like go to their birthday party and hang out with them with the whole family and everything like that. But come to find out, after we lost contact, they getting a divorce. They're getting a divorce. Why? Because he's a cheater. He was a cheater the whole time. And she was going into the swinger lifestyle, thinking that that would stop him from cheating, but he still cheated. So it's like, what? Why are you? You know what I mean? Like, okay. So everybody wasn't always as honest as they should be, even though that's what I'm saying. Dealing with real swingers, that's what I'm saying. Things happen fast, and you don't have the time to get to really know. That's when we really pump brakes. We got another one too. I'll tell you about that one tomorrow because it's a little bit deeper. On Wednesday, like I said, I do pros and cons. I will talk about that one some more. And I'm gonna tell you the one good benefit. People, like I said, people say they're having problems in their marriage, blah blah, no sex. I'm talking about, what's good? What's about swing? Because every time we would leave an event, let me find this. Every time we would leave an event and then we would ride home together, late at night, we would ride home like just holding hands and be all up in each other. Because then you would have what's called rebonding. And we would just talk, because you'd just be talking about what happened and how was this, how was that. I saw you here, I saw you there. You like you're really enjoying it. We just had a conversation, and then if you don't have the whole thing about jealousy, which neither one of us had, or thing about possession and all that kind of stuff, it actually will bring you close together and will spice up your marriage. That is a big. That's a known thing. It will definitely, if it's done correctly, if you guys are both on the same, you don't have any if you don't have any hang-ups already about sex, like I said, if you have a problem with what's they call it, fornication, adultery, all that shit, don't get involved in this. This will drive you crazy, because this is about freedom. It's not about bondage. So let me see. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that did that justice. It was good. I mean, like, I don't know. At least it's not good for you if you want to be, if you're monogamous. You definitely don't want to do this, but you should. You can go to the strip club though. Go to the strip club together. You know, and just have fun. I mean, just relax. Have a couple drinks. Don't you ain't gotta do nothing. You know what I'm saying? All it does is like charge up your battery a little bit. You know what I mean? Charge your battery a little bit. So so you can keep yourself. Sex to me, sex is bonding, right? It's a bonding thing. I don't care marriage or whatever. That's what it's for. I mean, I know which I want to say it's for procreation, but after a certain age, you ain't procreating no more. So what is it? What is it then? You know what I'm saying? I'm not procreating anymore. I had my limit. One, two, 1.5. I love them both, but I had my limit. So what is it for now? If it's not for bonding, and there's so many what's the oxytocin, those type of things. It really brings you two together, and then when that dies, that the whole relationship dies. So that's just a way. It's a way definitely to keep the spice in your marriage and have some fun and learn some new things. Just do it correctly. I had read a book. I read a whole book on this thing. Like I know the whole history of swinging. But like I said, I recommend it only if you're ready for it. I don't think it's a bad thing. Most people might think it's a bad thing, and it's definitely rebonding is fun. It's definitely fun. Definitely fun. Cause it's something you do together, and gives you a lot to talk about. Cause like I said, we were just like going out all the time, meeting different people. People just want to hang out. It wasn't always about the sex, like, even though it is on the sex side, sex focused side. It wasn't. It wasn't all about the sex because, yeah, do it. I don't know. All right, so that's good. I think we're gonna leave it there. I think next week, well, I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of it next week because there are some cons, right? It's not all peaches and cream. If you rush, that's when you'll make mistakes. Sometimes people are not as honest as they should be. We will always try to be 100% honest. So we had a couple incidents with people that weren't honest, right? But still, also, even with that though, it was still pretty good. I had a good time. But we definitely that definitely did push us more into polyamory too, because it's like we aren't real swingers. We don't want to just do this with people we don't know. So let's see. Yep, I'm gonna leave it there. I think I'm good. I think we're good. So like I said, next week I'm gonna talk about. Wednesday on a recap. I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about pros and cons of swinging, and then I think after that I'm gonna move into a little higher because I want to go into the other aspect of come away from because swinging NSA sex, no strings attached sex, open relationships. Don't ask, don't tells. Actually, don't ask, don't tells are interesting because I will not do a don't ask, don't tell. I was actually invited into. I was in some group and this woman. She was pretty successful. Her and her husband had They had she had like a high tiring job and she had like a company. So she traveled a lot and she's like, when I come to DC, I could just come hang out with you. I was like, all right, but I can't say nothing though. I'm like. But I can't. I'm like, wait a minute. So it's a don't ask, don't tell. So I can't say anything, right? You could get to know me. You could come hang out with my family when you in D.C. or hang out with everything. You can have the whole experience of being in D.C. I think she was in Texas, but I can't never come in Texas and hang out with you. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. I'm not a sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a sneaky link. I don't even have to be a sneaky link. Because we had a lot of people, a lot of women coming through all the time. I didn't have to be a sneaky link. So why would I want to be a sneaky link? It was tempting, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in the closet. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about this stuff to make it normal, normalize it for everyone. So it's like don't ask, don't tell, open relationships, and what is it? Open relationships, and then you have that cuckold thing, all that stuff. You have the fetishes. But I don't do the fetish. I did a little BDSM. I'll talk about that. Yeah, we're gonna be in this maybe like 2 more weeks, I guess, before I come out of this, and then we'll go into the next thing. Spirituality has become very important to me. It's definitely what's sustaining me and keeping me strong. Spirituality is keeping me strong. Me standing in the moment and thinking about, and then trusting the universe and trusting everything's gonna work out. Like I said, I didn't want to do this today because just what I see happening is very disturbing. Very disturbing. But we'll make it through it. We got a little way to the midterm. Hopefully, they won't try to like put tanks in the streets. Who knows? Who knows? I don't think they have a bottom. This current administration. I don't think they do. I don't think we have seen the worst yet. But you know, if you know a word of prayer, pray. If you want to meditate, meditate. Remember, stay in the moment. Keep yourself in shape. Just be ready. That's all I can say. Just be ready. All right. So I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks for listening. You know, I always forget to do this, man. I gotta do this more. If you can, if you want to, you know what this is for. You know what I've been talking about, what I've been dealing with. Addiction, ethical non-monogamy, spirituality. You know, anybody that's like struggling with it, this may be something good for them. Because I knew I wasn't gonna make it through NA and AA. Period. I wasn't gonna do it. So I had to come up with my own way. Hopefully, I'm going the right way. And if somebody else needs something else, this may be something else for them. I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it right there. Thanks for listening, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. I'm gonna do the right button this time. Let's see.
All right, people, we out.
I did.
Choose love every time, and things will work out. All right, peace. See you next week.
Love you. Thank you.